What up, Dokkaners? Let's talk about the upcoming Global First event that will be dropping during the 7-year anniversary. As we are currently a couple of days away from the start of Part 2, it is possible, I would say highly improbable, but possible, that we could be possibly seeing this new Global First event dropping during Part 2. The reason why I say it's highly improbable is just because of the fact that we all pretty much know why this is happening. For those of you who are not in the know, let me catch you up. During the JP 7-year anniversary, they received the Inherited Fate Warriors: A Century Later story event and EZA for the LR Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. This EZA and story event were given to global players during the simultaneous Saiyan Day celebration for a reason that we have absolutely no idea. But the fact remained that Global received this event before the 7-year anniversary, which meant that once we reached this point during the 7-year, the only piece of content that we'd be getting during the final portion would be the Super Saiyan 4 EZA. And to be quite honest, if it's just this, why not throw this into Part 3 and completely annihilate the extra part? While that would make sense, that would also probably serve to anger a lot of the global audience because JP received a whole extension for the 7-year anniversary. Why can't Global as well? Because extension means more login bonuses, more time to have enhanced boosts and recovery time and all that stuff. So why not have Global get the same sort of treatment? Which is why this event is not going to be there, but instead something else. So 99% sure, I think a lot of people can agree that this is probably going to be where the Global First event takes place, but you never know. Global Dokkan is kind of freaky that way. But anyway, this was first announced via this video that released at the start of the 7-year anniversary. They gave us a producer's letter talking about what's coming up, all the things that we pretty much know, except for this little gem at the end. They didn't want to tell us when the event is actually going to start, as they say right here, but it is something that everyone will surely enjoy. So I figured in today's video, we would take more of an in-depth look at what that potential event could be, because while a lot of people have different wishes out there, there's some pretty obvious choices, and I think more realistically, it would probably serve the global community a little bit better to discuss some of the more realistic possibilities for this event, instead of letting our imaginations run amok, thinking that we might be getting some, you know, brand new, never before groundbreaking thing that JP has yet to receive. Because if you guys don't know, in the past, when Global has been given Global First stuff, there has been a bit of a backlash by the JP audience. Now, that's not my word. It's from various sources that I've been told about. I'm not going to go into further detail, but the JP audience also cares about Dokkan as well. So even though Global's getting something first, it does affect the JP audience as well. So now let's just go through and see. So we know the timeline, the time frame. I asked you guys on Twitter and on the YouTube community page. Appreciate all of you guys responding and replying. A lot of you guys pretty much issued the same thing. A lot of your theories were centered around Dokkan Festival EZAs, but more specifically, Dragon Ball Super, Broly, and Gogeta Blue. Now, I don't know, first of all, why this was like the main theory out there. Maybe perhaps Truth or Goresh might have said something about it, but it does lend a lot of credence to what I was going to be talking about today, because the whole Dokkan Festival EZA event thing is not a foreign concept to give Global something like that first. So I figured let's just go through and take a look at the EZAs that we potentially have and how things have happened in the past. Big shout out to Misaka for this cool diagram here. What you're looking at is basically all of the Dokkan Festival EZAs that have taken place and those that have yet to receive one. Obviously, the ones that are grayed out are the ones that we either have or will be getting. So all of these ones we've already seen, but the ones that are still in color are the ones that yet to be completed. Some of the more, hype ones that I'm mostly looking forward to would be the Super Saiyan 4 Full Power, the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, and these two guys down here. We got Gogeta and we got Broly. And these two are obviously from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. What better hype EZA could we get on Global than the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, especially since JP is currently in the middle of their new movie release, which is Superhero. I think it's more than fair for Global to get an exclusive, not exclusive, but a Global First on the previous Dragon Ball Super movie. I think that would actually be a very fair trade, given that global audiences have to wait multiple months after the release on JP. Kind of sucks, especially for countries in Europe. I think my boy Kawhi told me that they're only getting the movie in like October. That sucks. So why not, let's go back and celebrate the Dragon Ball Super Broly again with a little encore performance, if you will. So this is just the rest of the diagram. The Super Saiyan 4s at the top. We got Hito. And then everybody else has yet to receive that EZA. This is dating back to 2019. Now, in terms of Global First releases, there's obviously, this is not going to be a new LR that's going to be releasing. I just simply want to show some of the trends of Global First in the past. We've had a couple units to release in Global First. Now, I don't know if I've covered every single one, so if I miss anything, feel free to share it in the comments down below. But some of the more prominent ones that come to mind, Gobros was in May of 2019. And then 2 weeks after that, or 3 weeks, was Broly, both from the, Broly Second Coming movie. What's funny about this one actually is that I think one of the first videos that comes to mind of me seeing Tiger's channel was in fact a video where he was passionately talking about how Global felt, I don't know about betrayed, but very upset about the fact that while this was a global first unit, JP received it soon after, but then the first time the unit could return, it returned first on JP and not on Global. I remember that was a pretty big deal in the global space at the time. So yeah, these two units released way back when. We also had the Ultra Instinct Goku release as the final trap before the 5-year anniversary, excuse me. I remember this was a really fun time for me because I pulled like 4 copies or 3 copies of this guy on that first summon, which is pretty great. That might have been the last time I had like God rates live on stream on my first summon ever. But now let's move on to the EZAs, because after this, I don't think that there were any other global first releases, I think, for units or LRs for that matter. If I missed any, feel free to let me know. But let's move on now to the EZAs. Now, the earliest one that comes to mind for me is the physical Vegito Blue and the AGL Rose. For those of you who were around during that time, there was this whole social media campaign that talked about how, depending on the way you voted, we would either get the physical Vegito Blue EZA first or the AGL Rose. Ultimately, Global voted on Vegito Blue because Vegito is the hype, right? And as we got this EZA, we then also got the AGL Rose soon after. My boy Proton clarified, I actually, for some reason, thought that the poll was like Global will get one, JP gets the other. But in fact, both of these EZAs happened on Global first, and then JP got it soon after that. Both these EZAs were pretty cool, but they were very short-lived. Actually, they weren't that short-lived in terms of exclusivity. February, March, April, about 2.5 months until JP received it. But for the Rose one, that one was a very quick turnaround. May 29th, June 9th. That's like a week apart. So yeah, not much of a turnaround there. And then obviously another one is the Great Ape EZA for the 3 units, the Goku, the Vegeta, and the Raditz. We had this for about 6 months. Yeah, we got this in October of 2021. JP got this in March, just a couple of months ago, which is kind of crazy. And that's pretty much it. That is all for the EZAs that we've had, but it's not uncommon. We've had some in the past, so I feel like this is a very likely situation that could be happening again. They have given us individual EZAs first on Global. They've given us sets of EZAs on Global. So if there were to be a Dragon Ball Super Broly and Gogeta EZA duo, this would actually be a possibility, in my opinion. Now, as far as story events are concerned, there's actually some precedent for that too. Shout out to my boy Proton for checking back in the history books for when this actually happened. But the last time that Global had, I believe, had a global first story event was way back in 2018 during the New Year's celebration in Part 2. They were given access to this story event right here, Vegeta the Indomitable Warrior, which again has to do with the movie. So maybe that potentially means that if there were to be a new story event that's given to us, maybe it does have to do with the movie, covering only the non-spoiler elements of the film, kind of like how JP recently got that Dragon Ball Superhero Gohan, and they had some event that was pertaining to it but didn't quite give away too much. They could do something similar for Global, and that way both JP and Global have their own unique story events that could then ultimately be brought together during an ultimate superhero movie celebration that happens towards the end of the year. So this released back in 2018, and with this story event came obviously the new medal, the free-to-play Vegeta Slap Bulma thing, the STR summonable one, and the Int Beers. These were both Global first, by the way, and they were both awakenable at this time on Global. Both were done before the JP got it. And then even further back than that, they also had during the Dokkan Thank You, I think this was actually later on, maybe not before. I think this was towards the end of 2018, yeah. This was the Monaka Beerus story event. So Lord Slug came back, and then the Monaka Beerus story event came out. And on this event, there was no new summonable unit or anything, any sort of medal that would pertain to that, except for the Monaka Beerus free-to-play unit. So, yeah, I feel like if I were to guess, it would probably end up being either a story event or an Extreme Z battle. I don't think anymore that it could potentially be some sort of a new stage to an escalation event, or perhaps a new Super Battle Road stage, or a collection of epic battle. I was even thinking maybe a skill orb event. That seems very minuscule and not something worth announcing in a video. I think it has to be substantial enough to where it actually is worth making an announcement for. And the only possible way that that could be the case would be a story event that would give us access to medals that could potentially awaken some units, maybe some older units, or perhaps just an EZA, a good old-fashioned EZA. You can never go wrong with this. I think everybody can agree even if there's new content in the future, I think one of the best events that was ever to be given to Dokkan would be the EZA. So if people were to just be given EZAs, that would be a pretty good start. And as far as it being Dragon Ball Super Broly and Gogeta, I don't particularly know. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't want it, but I can't necessarily say that I think it's going to be this, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. But if it weren't to be Broly or Gogeta, I would like it to be something pertaining to the 7-year in some way. Maybe they give us the Super Saiyan 4 full power. Maybe they give us the Int Goku Black. Maybe some way to kind of like set up the stage for whenever we eventually get the thank you celebration where we cover Future Saga. Maybe Global gets this Future Saga EZA early. I don't know. There's all sorts of ways we could theorize why some of these EZAs could eventually happen. But there you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts. And let me just say one last thing. I saw a couple comments on the community post and on Twitter for some people thinking that it could be a friend summon. Let me just tell you right now, it is not going to be a friend summon. If it was going to be a friend summon, I think we can all agree that players would be very, very upset. Now, I do understand that there is some history here. There is some precedent because we had one during the 6-year. We had one during the 5-year. There was, in fact, one during year 3. I don't know about year 4. Maybe there was. So where is the 7-year special friend summon? I don't know. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's ever going to show up. Who cares? That is not going to be the event. I'm telling you, that would be the stupidest thing they could ever do, to spit in Global's face by making their global first event a special or premium friend summon. Oh, I want to get Elder Kai's by using special friend point. How about giving us a new friend summon LR? Maybe that might be cool. Anyway, there you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts on the possibility of the upcoming release. I think it's an EZA. What do you think? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments what or why do you think, what and or why do you think that the upcoming global first event is going to be an EZA or a story event or something else? And did I miss anything in terms of the history of global firsts? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.